Hello and good morning. Welcome to blog post for last night. Didn't quite get this up like I was hoping to. Just too darn tired. So here we are this morning, picking up right where we left off. We're returning back to normal quests after doing ramps and furnace, particularly these buzzards here, to get their wings. Oh, a little close encounter with the fell reaver there. Interesting note about these buzzards, they're not really that hard, of course, but they have a interesting habit of when you kill them anywhere near other buzzards, or fairly near other buzzards, since they are carrion eaters, it's interestingly scripted that it will usually attract at least one other buzzard when they die. So be prepared for another fight after you kill one. Always, you want to be very mindful of that. We're basically looking for these buzzard wings here for the last cooking quest for those goblins by the crashed Zeppelin. The drop rate wasn't the greatest, in all honesty. It took quite a bit of buzzards to kill. The good news is again, they like to attack a lot, and when they die, there's always plenty more to come over to usually bug you. So, but you will have breaks every now and then. They do respawn pretty fast, so usually after you kill a group or two, and you've moved on, the rest will already have respawned. So keep an eye out for that. These buzzards aren't horribly hard. The biggest worry is being mindful of the fell reaver. As you saw, he likes to come across this spot a lot, so be on the lookout for that. So now we're going to go ahead and turn that quest in. Not bad at all for a little recipe quest, and of course you get the recipe for those wings and everything else too. So that pretty much does it for that goblin Zeppelin crash, and I'm pretty much finished with it. You can see I'm looking over here, and the next quest was something I was kind of confused about at first. It's being friendly with Minaval or something like that. It requires, you need to be friendly with Honor Hold, which obviously I already am, and then it requires a drink, a certain drink, and I thought maybe it was from here in Honor Hold, but it's not. If you read the quest, which I did again after I looked at it, found out that it's actually asking for a drink in the stronghold that's in the Alliance stronghold that's in Blasted Lands, where the portal is, and it can be kind of a trick to find him. He's in the barracks on the north barracks. I checked the south first, but he is in the north barracks, so I grabbed the drink and I got it, and I turned that in later. So now we're back in Outlands. Moved on. I had to do this quest again that I picked up in this little Blasted Lands because it's a timed item that left, and this is a pretty easy one. I couldn't figure it out because there were a whole bunch of elites. I read it again at the very bottom. It tells me to go talk to the guy and fly by. So this is another wonderful bomb quest, a lot like the portal one, except instead of portals this time, we're bombing actual demons and units here that you'll see. Very easy quest, quite fun. Actually, after you turn it in, when you go back to the flight master that you take this Griffin on, he'll actually give you a repeatable quest that allows you to do this quest as much as you want, as often as you like, just to have fun with it. You don't get any experience for doing it again, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. It's really simple. It gives you plenty of flybys to go ahead and do that. You can see I was kind of moving around a little too much. You might have to do 2 flybys just to get the quest done, but it's worth it. Good experience and some nice stuff. So, and again, any super easy quests we are all for. But so I went ahead and did that, and you'll see me turn that in here in just a moment. It did take me 2 flybys on the first try, and even on the repeatable one to check and make sure it didn't give no experience, nothing, it also took me 2. So it seems kind of common, so don't be worried about it. You can always ask to go fly again. So I return here, I go ahead and return the quest. Sorry about these map things. Somebody bugging me in IM, so I was checking it. So I go ahead and return the quest. Some nice stuff here. Not that bad. This is actually technically, I guess, an early quest. I don't know. But that's part of that chain. I'll go ahead and give you another quest to take the Flight Master again to go to another flight point. And here's the repeatable quest Flight Master gives you. If you don't want to do it, don't. It doesn't give you anything, honestly. So if you just want to do it for fun, it'll always be there. Otherwise, ignore it. So now we're flying off to this next part that they sent me to, which I believe is called Honor Point. And this is closer to the front lines against them and everything. And you come here and you're going to get a series of quests, about, I believe, 3 is what he'll give you. The first one's real simple. Just wants you to kill a certain amount of people in other killing quests. And the camp he wants to do is just literally right across the way here. So you're going to see me accept it, take it. I'll come over here. I'm just looking around. I'm looking for a specific flight point. There isn't any. Basically, the Flightmaster will always take you back to the shattered point that we were at. So here I am looking, and my darn quest info didn't want to update properly that time, so I had to do it by hand. And I see where they're at, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I go ahead and mount up and everything. Not horribly hard. This can be a high traffic area sometimes, because apparently the Horde have their own quests around here too. So just be aware of that. These guys really aren't that hard. They do seem to respawn pretty darn fast. At least some of them do. I know Razor Saw here, who's one of the quest requirements for this, does respawn pretty darn fast. So you want to be aware of that as you move on. The good news is about that is, like I said, it is kind of a high traffic area, so the fact that it is a high respawn rate is actually a good thing. So I go ahead, I proceed through this, and I proceed to kill everything I need. Not a huge deal here. I'm just going through them quite easy, actually. I think the longest part about it was I just ran into a part where I couldn't find any, and then Razor Maw attacked me, and then a whole bunch of these other things that I didn't need to kill attacked me, so it kind of slowed me down a bit. There are some Fel Cannon Mark 1s that you're going to see that you'll actually get a next quest in, so if you can avoid killing them, go ahead and do so on this first half, but you might have to kill them just because there's usually one of these like slaver guys or whatever next to them all the time. So if you have to, go ahead and do it. Like I said, by the time you come back to them, they'll be respawned. So I go ahead, excuse me, and finish these guys off here. I head back after doing that quest and turn that in for a hefty sum of experience. These are not horribly particularly hard quests. I think the only one I had trouble with was probably the very last one, which will be in part 2 of this video. So now we're doing the Fel Cannons. These are Fel Cannon Mark 1s. They're in place. They are ranged, so you want to close the distance, especially if you're melee. Even if you're not, it's just a good idea. They are not horribly hard. They hit for about 300 apiece per attack, so, but really not that hard. So we go ahead and do the cannons. We finish them off, and I just happen to have a respawn here because they were all respawning. Because as you can see, probably a little bit in that shot, there was some Horde players that had already gone through here, so I was waiting for everything to respawn. Got all 3 of my cannons right here in a sequence, as you can see, all spawned, and got it done pretty darn quick. So that was really easy. So after that was done, went back, turned that in, and then the final quest he gives you in this sequence is actually quite a ways away from where you're at, and I decided to wait to do it later because I decided to go ahead and start turning in some of these quests I have because I had a lot completed, as you can see. So you'll see me go ahead and head back to the fly point, and now this is where we're at. We start back at the temple. I'm turning in quests now, some of the quests I finished and everything, and getting some more, of course. There's definitely a lot of quests to do here in Outland. Just in Hellfire Peninsula alone, there's a lot of quests, and I really didn't get my first quest to move on to the next area till around these parts, so I believe I'm finally starting to get to the point where it suggests I move on. Whether or not I do so right away, I'm not sure. I'm actually was looking at my achievements, and I saw I was getting very close to an achievement for quests here in Hellfire Peninsula. I only need like 7 more, and I'll get this nice little achievement quest. So I go ahead and turn in all these quests. I turn that one in, and then I turn in the one I was just given, and I grab another quest and another one, and then I go ahead and proceed to the next quest, which you will see in part 2. See you in part 2.